Hi guys, Jay here. I'm going to take you through some modifications and recommendations for Tuesday the 21st of September's workout. Now the workout for the day is 10 rounds for time, 40 double unders, 15 hand release push-ups and 1 L-sit rope climb. Now as you can see, there are some variations in this workout that our children would find very tricky. Many of our children won't have double unders. We've spoken about how we can modify that before, but I'll go through that again. We've got hand release push-ups. I think that hand release is just an added element of complexity that we don't need to give our children just yet. And then we've got an L-sit rope climb. Now, some of you may have some gymnasts in your house who can absolutely do these L-sit rope climbs. But I'm going to look at ways to modify that in case you don't. So for our advanced kids, we've got 5 rounds and we've got 20 to 30 skips. Now, like I've said previously, you may have a kid that can do double unders. Fantastic, let them work away. Often our children can't, so let's just let them develop that coordination and accuracy with just some single unders. I've got 5 to 10 push-up variation for our advanced kids this week. So that could be the warm-up push-up, which I'll show you a video for that. It could be an elevated box push-up, or it could be just a regular push-up. And I've given you a range of reps here, depending on the capacity and the experience of your children, even with the advanced kids. And here, like I've said before, whenever we're doing anything from a bar, and that will now include a rope, we want the children to develop grip strength here. So that's going to be our focus instead of the L-sit rope climb. I've put an added layer in here with a knee tuck, so they're developing the similar stimulus to the L-sit. So they're going to do a 20-second hanging knee tuck. Now that could be between 10 and 20 seconds depending on your child's capacity. For our less experienced kids, I've got a little note up here. The footprint equals a bear crawl. I've added in a bear crawl to this workout because the workout is quite static in terms of where the children are for the workout. They're not moving around too much. So I've added this in just so they're moving around, making it a bit more fun. This could be anything. This could be a roll. It could be a different animal walk. You're only limited by your imagination with this movement here. So our less experienced athletes, we've got 5 rounds of 20 to 30 jumping jacks. Now the reason I haven't got skips here, because if you have a rope and your children can skip, by all means use that. But we've got skips in our advanced option here. So this would really be for those children that haven't quite got their skipping down yet. And we still want to give you that stimulus and that timing that you'd get from a jumping jack that skipping gives you as well. We've got a 10 to 20 second plank hold. Now remember, our plank hold is a prerequisite to a push-up. We want them to be able to hold that nice solid plank position for a period of time before they move on to push-ups, and that is straight arms at the top of a push-up position. So that's really, this is where you start and this is where you would finish on that push-up at the top of that plank. And then again, we've got that grip strength development. We've got a 10 to 20 second bar hang, and in between those exercises you're going to give the children a distance to bear crawl. It could be 5, it could be 10 meters depending on your child. And again, it could be a roll. They could forward roll 5 meters. They could log roll 5 meters. I've just put a bear crawl in here, but as I've said, you're limited by your imagination with this one. For our no equipment, you're going to see the themes from both of these really. So we've got 5 rounds of 20 to 30 second jumping jacks. We're going to have the bear crawl in between just to give them some extra opportunity to move. We've got push-up variations or plank holds depending on where your children are at. And then we've got 5 to 10 sit-ups. We'll show you a video going through that. Okay, I've got Jonah. He's going to take us through our 3 push-up variations. The first push-up variation is going to be the warm-up push-up. So he's going to lie down on his front. He's going to place his hands just underneath his shoulders. And he's going to worm his way up to the top of a plank position. He's going to hold that nice plank position here. And then on the way down, he's going to lower himself as straight as possible. And one more for me, Jonah. And lower yourself down. Our second push-up variation is going to be an elevated box push-up. Now our points of performance are going to be the same. The hands are going to be underneath the shoulders. Our body's going to be in a straight line. But on this variation, we're not going to see any extension in the lumbar that you would see with a warm-up push-up. Jonah's going to keep his body in a straight line. So I'm going to ask him to get himself set up. As you can see, he's got his hands underneath his shoulders. He's in a nice straight line from his shoulder all the way through his hip down to his ankle. And he's going to lower his body in a straight line. And make sure his chest touches the box. Keeping his body straight, he's going to push up. And show me 2 more, please, Jonah. And rest there. Great job. Our last push-up variation is going to be a standard push-up. So the setup's going to be the same as our warm-up push-up. Jonah's going to lie down on his belly on the floor. He's going to get his hands underneath his shoulders. He's going to, keeping his body rigid and tight, he's going to push himself up. He's going to keep his body in a straight line and lower himself down, sending his elbows back. And again for me, Jonah. And 1 more. And relax there. So the last movement for our advanced kids is going to be a bar hanging knee tuck. Now remember, whenever we set anything up on a bar for our children, we don't want them to be more than sort of 12 inches off the floor. We want them to be able to fall safely by themselves without adult assistance. So I'm going to ask Jonah to jump up here. He's going to grab the bar. He's going to get himself set, straight legs. He's going to activate his shoulders. So he's going to pull his shoulders away from his ears. And then he's going to keep his feet together, raise his knees as high as he can. He's going to hold that position, nice tuck position there. And for the workout, he's going to hold that for 20 seconds. And relax, come down. For our less experienced athletes, instead of it being a hanging knee tuck, we're just going to get them to do a bar hang. Again, remember they're only about 12 inches off the floor, at most, 6 probably a bit better. So Jonah's going to jump up. He's going to make sure he's in that nice active hang position. He's going to keep his legs together, keeping his tummy nice and tight. And then you can see there he's got that nice hollow position. And he's going to hold that for 10 to 20 seconds for the less experienced workout. And come down. For both our less experienced and for our no equipment option, we have a plank hold. So I'm just going to ask Jonah to get into the bottom of a push-up for me again. And he's gone straight into the top of the plank, but that's no problem. So again, he's got his hands underneath his shoulders. He's in that nice hollow position, keeping his legs together. Now remember, the plank hold is our prerequisite to being able to do push-ups. So if your children struggle to hold this position for a period of time, choose this option. This is a better option for them to choose. Remember, we said last week, static before dynamic. And rest there for me, Jonah. So in place of the hanging knee tuck for our advanced kids or the bar hang for our less experienced children, we've got sit-ups in for our no equipment option. Now, you can use an ab mat for your children. It's absolutely not necessary. I'd say one of the things to look out for is that their hips can stay on the floor and their shoulder can touch the floor when they're lying down. So I'm going to show you that now. So I'm going to ask Jonah to put his bottom this side. He's going to get into that butterfly stance. So he's going to keep his feet together. Now each rep will start at the top. Jonah will lie back onto the floor. He'll touch the floor, and you can see his shoulders just about touch the floor on here, so he's just about ready to use this ab mat. And then he's going to touch the floor behind. He's going to bring himself up. He's going to break the line of his hips with his shoulder and then touch the floor with his hands. Can you show me 2 in a row, please, Jonah? Touch the floor behind. Break the line of his hips with his shoulder. Touch the floor in front. And rest there. You can do it just as well without an ab mat. So Jonah, can you show me 2 without an ab mat? Same principle there. Touch the floor behind, break the line of the hip with the shoulder, touch the floor in front. 1 more. Thank you. For both our less experienced and our no equipment options, we have a bear crawl in there, and that's just to make the workout a bit more dynamic rather than it all just being in one space. especially for that no equipment option where the children will be doing jumping jacks, push-ups and sit-ups, so won't be moving very far. So Jonah's going to come up onto all fours, his hands and his feet. He's going to have a slight bend in his knee, and then he's just going to crawl forwards with his hands and feet. He's going to turn around and come back this way, keeping his knees off the floor. Good job. And I would suggest 5 to 10 meters in between each exercise. I just want to really summarize and add in an extra thing that you could do for this workout. I don't have the option here. In our garage, we don't have the ability to hang a rope from a high position, and we don't have one. If we had a rope, even from a low position, I would possibly include a rope pulls lying to standing. So you're lying on your back and your hand over hand pulling yourself to standing for that rope climb. That's a really great modification for our kids to use to help develop that grip strength as well, and maintaining that nice tight midline as they're standing up. They're keeping their body in a flat line. So if you do have a rope, and maybe you're in a gym using these workouts, if you do have a rope, you can swap in a rope pulls from lying to standing, and all you want to see is just that nice pull hand over hand, keeping their torso, so they're their shoulder, hip, knee and ankle all in that straight line as they lift themselves up. Have fun with this workout, guys.